Ms. Harris, and I'm here to talk to you about subtracting across zeros. Let's look at our steps. So first, you want to stack your numbers on top of each other, just like if you were adding. Make sure the biggest number is on top. Then you want to circle your ones place column so that you know where you're starting. So before you start subtracting, make sure you look in your circle and see is your biggest number on top. If it is, go ahead and subtract and move to the next column. If it is not, then you need to regroup from your neighbor. So this song says, take 1, add 10. Take 1, add 10. That means you need to go to your next door neighbor, take 1 away, and then go back to where you were and add 10 in your circle. If your neighbor is a 0, then you have to go to the next neighbor and take 1, add 10. But before I jump back over to my circle, I have to add 10 to that 0 I skipped over. And to move back to my circle, I have to take 1 from that 10 and add it back to my circle. Sounds like a lot. Let's look and see what that looks like. First example. So remember, after this one, when the next problem comes, you want to make sure to press pause, try it yourself, press play, and check your work. Here we go. So 309 minus 14. First step, I want to stack my numbers on top of each other. Make sure you start at the back, writing them down. All right, so I'm going to circle my ones place because that's where I start. Inside my circle, I have a 9 and a 4. 9 is bigger, it is on top, so I can go ahead and subtract. That gives me 5. I circle the next column where I am now. I have a 0 and a 1. 1 is bigger, but it's not on top, so I need to regroup. It says I go to my neighbor, which is going to be the 3. The song says take 1, add 10. So I'm taking 1 from my neighbor. That gives me 2. I'm going to add 10 to my circle. So 0 plus 10 is 10. Now I can subtract because my biggest number is on top. 10 minus 1 is 9. And be sure to fill in empty places with a 0 before you get started. 2 minus 0 is, sorry, let me show you I'm in that column. 2 minus 0 is 2. 295. Let's try another one. Stack my numbers on top. Make sure I don't have any empty places, so I'm good to go. So I start off here in the ones. I have a 0 and a 3. 3 is bigger, but it's not on top, so I need to regroup. When I go next door, I have another 0. I can't take anything from that, so I have to come all the way over to the hundreds place. The song says, take 1, add 10. Take 1, add 10. So I'm taking 1 from this 3. That'll leave me with 2. Now, I cannot jump back over to my circle. I have to go down the line. So right here, I add 10 because it was the next place. I want my 10 in my circle. So before I can move it again, you have to take 1, add 10. So this time, I take 1 from this 10 that I made, and that becomes a 9. Now I can add 10 to my circle. 10 plus 0 is 10. So my new number is 10. All right, now I can subtract because my biggest number is on top. 10 minus 3 is 7. Now I'm in the tens place, and I have a 9. You do not have a 0 anymore, okay? We regrouped. Now it's a 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. And you don't have a 10 right there anymore because you had to move it to the ones place. So that's why it's a 9 now. Circle the next place. I have a 2 and a 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So your final answer, 157. Try the next one. Be sure to press pause, try it yourself, and press play to check your work. We have 5,000 minus 2,123. So I'm circling where I'm starting, which is the ones place. I have a 6 and a 3. 6 is bigger, so therefore I don't have to regroup. 6 is on top. So just because we're working on regrouping, don't just think every single problem I need to automatically cross out. No, check and see what you have first. So 6 minus 3 is 3. Circle the next place. I have a 0 and a 2. 2 is bigger, therefore, and it's not on top, so I can't subtract it. I have to go next door. Next door, I have another 0. I can't take anything from that, so I have to go next door again. There is a 5. I can get something. What's your song? Take 1, add 10. Take 1, add 10. So I'm going to take 1 from my 5. That leaves me with 4. Remember, can't jump back to your circle. You have to go down the line. Stay in line. So first I have to add 10 to this 0 first. 10 plus 0 is 10. So this new number is 10. Sorry. This new number is 10. I want it in this circle. So before I move again, I have to do the song. Take 1, add 10. Take 1. That leaves me with 9. Add 10 to here. Now 10 plus 0 is 10. So my new number here, 10. Now I can subtract because my biggest number is on top. 10 minus 2 is 8. Circle the next place. I don't have a 0 in this place anymore. I don't have a 10 in that place anymore. There's a 9. Make sure you show that you took away whatever you needed to take before you make your other number bigger. 9 minus 1 is 8. And circle my next place. I don't have a 5 anymore. I have a 4. Make sure you're showing where you crossed out. 4 minus 2 is 2. And be sure to put your comma. If you get confused about where your comma goes as your numbers get bigger, start at the back in your ones place and just count. 1, 2, 3, comma. Next problem. Be sure to press pause and try it yourself. 6,000 minus, start from the back, writing your numbers. That just helps make sure everything gets lined up correctly. All right, circle where we're starting in the ones. I have a 0 and a 4. 4 is bigger, but it's not on top, so we need to regroup. When I go next door, I have another 0, so we need to move on. I have another 0. I need to move on. I have a 6. What's your song? Take 1, add 10. So I can take 1 from the 6. That gives me 5. Do not jump back to your circle. Go down the line. Add 10. I don't want it right there, so I have to regroup again. This 10 becomes 9. Take 1, so it's 9. Add 10. I couldn't jump back to my circle. I had to go down the line. So now this 10, I want to move again. So take 1. That gives me 9. Add 10. All right. So 10 plus 0 is 10. So my new number is 10. So 10 minus 4, 6. Circle your next place. I don't have a 0 on top anymore. I don't have a 10 on top anymore. There is a 9. Be sure to show your work in all your steps. 9 minus 2 is 7. Circle your next place. I don't have a 0. I don't have a 10. There's a 9 there now. 9 minus 1 is 8. Circle the next place. 5 and 2. 5 is greater. It is on top. 5 minus 2 is 3. Where does my comma go? 1, 2, 3, comma. Be sure to press pause. Try it yourself first. Here we go. Writing our problem down. 41,006 minus. Start writing it from the back just in case. That way you can see if a digit is missing. All right, here we go. Circle where I'm going to start. In the ones, I have a 6 and a 4. Is my biggest number on top? Yes, it is. So I can go ahead and subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. Circle your next place. I have a 0 and a 1. Can I go ahead and subtract? No, 1 is bigger. It's at the bottom. So we have to do what? Go next door. When I get there, there's another 0. Can they help me? No. Go next door again. They can help me. What's your song? Take 1, add 10. So if I take 1 from 1, that gives me 0. Add 10 to that next place, because you cannot jump, can't skip. So 10 plus 0 is 10, but that's not where I want my 10. I want it over here in my circle. So before I can move again, do the song. Take 1, that gives me 9. Add 10. Now I have 10, because 10 plus 0 is 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. All right, circle my next place. 9 and 2 is in my circle. 9 is bigger. It is on top. So go ahead and subtract. 9 minus 2 is 7. Circle the next place. What do I have? A 0 and a 0. I can do that. I know that equals 0. Circle the next place. I have a 4 and a 3. 4 is bigger. It is on top. So 4 minus 3 is 1. Where does my comma go? 1, 2, 3, comma. Write down our problem. 168,052 minus, start from the back with that second number just to make sure everything gets lined up correctly. All right, here we go. Circle where we are in the ones place. My biggest number is 2. It is on top, so I'll go ahead and subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. Circle my next place. My biggest number is 5. It is on top, so I can go ahead and subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4. Circle my next place. My biggest number is 6. It is not on top, so I need to regroup. So I go to my neighbor, and the song says, take 1, add 10. So I take 1. That leaves me with 7. And I add 10 to where I am. 10 plus 0 is 10, so my new number is 10. So 10 minus 6, that gives me 4. Circle your next place. 7 and 4. 7 is bigger, so it is on top. Go ahead and subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. Circle your next place. 6 and 2. 6 is bigger, and it is on top, so go ahead and subtract. That's 4. Circle my next place. 1 and 1, I can subtract that. That's 0. You can show your 0 or you can leave it off. And then I figure out where my comma goes. 1, 2, 3, comma. 43,441. Alright, so now that we have practiced together and you had time to check your work, now on your own, I want you to practice these problems. And when you finish, be sure to get an adult to check it for you. So show your work, and I hope this was helpful. See you next time. Bye-bye.